Today I'm going to show you how to throw together a quick, satisfying chicken teriyaki bowl, so stick around. In Japan, teriyaki chicken is usually made with a boneless chicken leg that's glazed in a 3-ingredient sauce. It's a delicious way to enjoy a whole cut of chicken, kind of like a steak, but it does take a while to cook through. Today I want to show you a way you can turn this classic into a convenient donburi or rice bowl that comes together in about 10 minutes. Cutting the chicken into bite-sized pieces not only makes a chicken cook faster, it also makes it easier to eat. And by serving it over a bowl of rice, it lets that delicious teriyaki sauce percolate down into the rice. To balance it out and give it a pop of color, I also like to serve this with whatever vegetables I happen to have in the kitchen. Sound good? Let's have a look at our ingredients. For the chicken, I've got 450 grams of skin-on boneless thigh meat. You can use skinless thighs or breast meat too, but it won't be as juicy. I've also got a 1/4 cup of sake, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and some black sesame seeds for garnish. For the veggies, I've got a small head of broccoli and a carrot, but you can use any veggies you have in the fridge. If you're using broccoli, I usually like to start by trimming all the florets off the trunk like this. Then you can cut the bigger ones in halves or quarters by only cutting through the stems and pulling them apart like this. This helps to keep the florets intact and gives them a nicer shape. Finally, I love the crunchy trunk, but the skin is really stringy, so you'll want to peel it by going around the trunk and slicing it off. Now you can cut it into bite-sized pieces. For the carrot, I've already peeled it, and I'm going to trim the ends off and cut it in half lengthwise. Then I can slice it up at an angle to make spears of carrot. To prep the chicken, I just cut it into bite-sized pieces. Feel free to go bigger or smaller than this, but keep in mind they're gonna shrink a bit as they cook, and you want to try and get them to be roughly the same size and thickness so they cook through evenly. Before we start cooking, I want to thank everyone who's helping to support what I do on this channel. There are lots of ways you can help, so if you're learning something new from my recipes, hit the link in the description down below to see what you can do. The first thing you're going to want to do is get a pot of water boiling for the veggies. I'm going to add a generous pinch of salt and then add the carrots. These are going to take a little while, so let's start on our chicken next. If I'm using skin-on chicken thighs, I like to start by placing them skin side down in a cold non-stick pan. My pan was a little small for this amount of chicken, but it's gonna shrink, so it should be okay. Now let's turn the heat on to medium-low, and you want to slowly heat up the pan to get most of the fat to render out of the skin. The beauty of this technique is that you can use the flavorful fat from the chicken skin to cook the meat while the skin protects the meat from getting tough and chewy. If you're using skinless chicken or you don't have a non-stick pan, I recommend preheating the pan and adding a splash of vegetable oil. This is going to take a few minutes, so let's check on our carrots. Okay, these are nice and tender, so I'm gonna add the broccoli in and let the water come back to a boil. I like my broccoli on the crunchy side, so once it comes to a full boil, I'm gonna go ahead and drain them and set them aside until our chicken teriyaki is done. Okay, our chicken is cooked about 2/3 of the way up, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip them over. As you can see, the skin has rendered out most of its fat, and it looks nice and crisp. When the chicken is cooked through, I'm gonna remove them from the pan. Look at all that fat that's rendered out. You can save this for making something else, but I'm just gonna use a paper towel to sop it all up. oil or fond in the pan is gonna cloud the teriyaki sauce, so you wanna get as much of it out as you can. Now I'm gonna add the sake, sugar, and soy sauce, and turn up the heat to bring it to a boil. Teriyaki literally means glossy grilled in Japanese, so a traditional sauce doesn't include ginger, scallions, sesame seeds, or anything else that might cloud up the sauce. If you want to add any of these ingredients, use them to marinate the chicken or to garnish it at the end. As you can see, the bubbles are getting bigger, which means the sauce is getting thicker without adding any starch. This is the correct way to thicken teriyaki sauce because it means the sugar and sake are caramelizing, which makes it super flavorful. Okay, once you can run a spatula through the sauce like this, it's time to add our chicken back in. Now I'm just gonna roll the chicken around to get it nice and coated with that mouth-watering teriyaki sauce. The chicken is already cooked, so as soon as you have a nice shiny glaze on the outside, our teriyaki chicken is ready to plate up. I've got a large bowl of cooked rice here, and I'm just gonna add a layer of chicken onto half of it. I know you can see how good this looks, but I wish you could smell it. Then I'm gonna add the broccoli onto the other half. Let's get a few carrots in there as well for a pop of color. And to finish it off, I'm gonna drizzle some of our extra teriyaki sauce all over our chicken and veggies, and our chicken teriyaki bowl is done. Now you can garnish it with some sesame seeds and scallions if you like. My chicken teriyaki bowl makes for a quick weeknight meal, but it also works great packed into a bento box lunch, so I hope you'll give it a try. As always, let me know if you enjoyed this video by giving this a big thumbs up, and don't forget to share it with all your friends that could use a quick weeknight recipe. If you want to see more of my quick and easy rice bowls like my gyudon or my oyakodon, check out this playlist. Well, I'm gonna go have this for lunch, but I'll catch you in the next one.